Where'd it go? Audio test, audio test. Oh, geez, what's it recording from? Audio test, audio test. Oh, that actually sounds okay. Let's see here. Is there anything else I wanna go live on? Off. All right. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Ricky Rambles. Today, I wanted to ramble about my plans for Leafbound Review. Now, if you've already heard of Leafbound Review, I guess I'll bore you again with the details of it. It's a book review site where you can get a free book review. Uh-oh. How are these cars? Now you might ask, how does Leafbound Review make money then? And that's a very good question. We're still figuring that out. We'll get back to you. I had some fun ideas, though, for Leafbound Review. In addition to having... In addition to the review website, I thought it would be cool if Leafbound Review launches an anthology. And so authors could submit books that they want featured in the anthology, or let me start that again. The Leafbound team would provide a topic, and authors would submit books on that topic, or short stories, I should say. And yeah, we would like compile this big anthology and sell it, and potentially everyone would make money from it, and that could be fun. Some of my more ambitious ideas is that Leafbound Review could get into physical bookstores. And now what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that if you went into a bookstore, there'd be an end cap. And that end cap would be branded with Leafbound Review logos and stuff. And in that end cap would be books that Leafbound Review has reviewed and that Leafbound Review recommends. So I think it's a pretty cool way for like an indie author to get into a bookstore via Leafbound Review. Now, of course, this idea is just an idea in my mind and nothing more than that. But I think it's like a cool idea how an indie author could get into a bookstore thanks to Leafbound Review. What were my other ideas? Uh-oh. I'll pause for a second if the chat has questions. Okay. I mentioned we'd talk about how Leafbound Review monetizes, and I guess that's something I can talk about now. One of the ideas is that in the future, Leafbound Review will have service providers. We're working on developing a connection with an editor right now. So if you want an editor recommendation, Leafbound Review will be able to provide that shortly. Also, if you are a book service provider, if you are an editor or something like that, feel free to reach out to Leafbound Review. We might be able to set up some kind of affiliate with you. So we send people to you, and you send us a small kickback or something like that. Presently, the only way Leafbound Review is monetized right now is via display ads, which pay us basically nothing. In addition to affiliating for services, I think we're going to try to do affiliate work for Amazon. We're in the process of setting that up shortly. And I think that's our three big ideas right now. I guess the one other thing that is live on Fiverr now If you want to skip the line for your review, you can pay $5 and do that. Otherwise, the wait presently on Leafbound Review is rather long, which is a little unfortunate, but if it's free, you can't complain too much, right? Huh. I thought I had way more ideas, but apparently not. Some of the other ideas I've had is that Leafbound Review could offer a writing program of sorts. And what do I mean by a writing program? I mean, we aren't writing coaches or anything like that. In fact, we may not even be the best writers. But what I've found is that as I've spent time reading other people's works and reviewing other people's works, I have improved as a writer. And so Leafbound could offer some kind of program that helps incentivize you to read other works, to review other works, and kind of helps propel you to be a better writer. Because I think everybody does well with a little bit of accountability. And I think that all kind of feeds into a greater idea that I've been sharing here, which is having a community aspect to Leafbound Review, a place where writers can congregate, where they can talk, where they can share ideas and whatnot, and where they work on things together collaboratively. So that's part of my vision for Leafbound Review, and I think some of the other team on Leafbound Review kind of shares that vision. We'll probably talk about it more in another meeting. Oh, another thing we've been doing is Leafbound Review has a newsletter, and we've been offering people shout outs to their book in our newsletter. Surprisingly, not many people have signed up. I really don't know why. I guess people don't like giving their emails out on a Google form. Is the only possible idea that I can think of why you wouldn't want a free shout out for your book. That, or I guess it's just not being circulated widely enough on social media, which is how we get most of our attention, which is to say, isn't very much attention. We're really bad at this whole social media thing. else. Oh, I guess this really is a rambly episode. Of course, the show is Ricky Rambles. Which, for a little context, in case you've just stumbled into this randomly, right, this is a podcast hosted by me, Ricky, one of the reviewers at Leafbound Review. It's my personal podcast, but I sometimes talk about Leafbound Review here because this show is my hodgepodge where I put anything that doesn't fit on my main show, The Frug Life, where I talk about personal finance. So, of course, talking about books is not personal finance, unless it's a personal finance book, which I do on The Frug Life. Planes. In the future, we might offer paid sponsor slots on the newsletter, but we'll see if we get there. The newsletter is a little small right now. Oh, I guess the last way we're going to monetize is actually promoting our own books via that newsletter. So hopefully that will come soon. As you might know, I wrote a book, All the Meat You Will Eat, a fun children's picture book about eating meat. My niece's parents are vegetarian, and so I wrote this book for my niece. Anyways, if you have ideas for services you want Leafbound Review to provide, please feel free to reach out. I think our email will be somewhere in the show notes if I remember to put it there, but it's just leafboundreview@gmail.com, or reach out to us on social media. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the show. And I will see you later. Oh, and obviously, if you want a free book review, go to leafboundreview.blogspot.com to do that. You can submit your book there via Google form. We will write a review, we will post it on the blog, and then we will cross-post it to websites of your choosing should you like the review. So it's really no risk. If you don't like the review, it dies on our website because our website isn't very popular. Like I said, the display ads make us zero money, basically. All right. See you next time. Let's truncate sounds. Oh shoot, where'd it go? Today I have a weird episode of the show, which is you are going to take a drive with me to work. I'm narrating this after the fact in my studio. Other than this little blurb from me now, though, you are just going to hear me driving to work and talking to you about whatever is on my mind. It's real time. This is how much time it takes me to get to work. Where the heck did it go? Oh, is there someone actually watching this thing? Hello? All right. Well, we've pretty much finished recording the episode. So I think we're going to go offline unless anyone has any questions or wants to talk about something. Otherwise, thanks for listening and watching today's episode. We'll be back at some point in the future.